is something I've been waiting for my entire life. And to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous. But I know this is where I belong.
The Hawks leading by 3.
The Hawks were fantastic last season. After the All-Star break, they did slip up a bit. Struggled against teams over 500.
On the court for the Pistons, Freak in at point guard. Aaron Baines out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Johnson, and it's Meeks in at the 2. On the wing, Johnson got a piece of it. And Baines kicks to Johnson. Feeds to Freak. Tries a 3. The shot misses. So the Hawks will take it the other way. They lost the last 3 games of the regular season, Clark, and really just limped into the playoffs. Some of it might hit. Just been fatigue.
Yeah, it could have been, and their play at the end of the season did leak into the playoffs, Kevin. I mean, you could see very quickly that they weren't the same team that looked so dominant during the regular season.
Well, with Freak, Clark, there was a question whether he would stay another year in college. Really was a tough decision for him, but he ended up coming out after his freshman year.
And, Kevin, it's really hard to blame a guy like Freak for doing that. I mean, he's clearly NBA ready, and he's putting a lot at risk for every year he stays in school, and he could be on the NBA front.
And here we see the debut of Freak, the kid from Harlem. His first time on an NBA floor. And Clark, it's a moment that he's worked very hard to achieve, and his family has got to be proud.
Extremely so, Kevin. It's been a long journey for him, but every level along the way, he's found success. High school phenom, playing for a college championship. I wouldn't bet against this kid on anything when it comes to basketball.
So it's Detroit now. After the basket by Atlanta. 5 to shoot. Here's Baines. And that misses badly. Air ball. Can't hit.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but to be just enough to keep him out of risk.
Nice pass that time. What excellent vision by Jeff Teague out there.
And we reach the... Earlier we sat down with Freak and asked him about playing in his first NBA game. You know, Clark, you don't see that kind of perspective from all football. On the court. Teague out there with Kent Bazemore. Then there's Paul Millsap. Then there's Scott, and it's Splitter in at the 5, roaming the paint. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. Now here's Freak.
2 minutes.
Morris dishes to Freak. Count that one.
This is a tale of 2 quarters here, really. In the first, they had trouble converting their possessions. I think their field goal percentage was a tad over 20%. But they've shot themselves out of that slump, and now they have the lead and look to be in a good place offensively. Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
Now here's Johnson. Freak.
And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
And taking a quick look here, guys, at the hustle stats for Detroit.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And the other thing they've done well is they've run the shooters off their sweet spots. They've really closed out well and forced them to put the basketball on the floor.
Here's Bazemore. He's guarded by Johnson. Bazemore misses.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
Johnson kicks to Baines. Wants to get it to Morris and does. In the corner, it's Freak. And it doesn't even draw iron.
Almost no chance of that shot going in.
Yeah, there were a lot of other places he could have gone with the basketball instead of forcing that shot.
And guys, you gotta love the front court for these Atlanta Hawks. I mean, Al Horford and Paul Millsap both give up a few inches in terms of height, but you won't find a more skilled and versatile front court in the NBA.
Well, speaking of the skill of the Atlanta front court, their offense predicated on ball movement and spacing and shooting. Unlike San Antonio, Horford and Millsap a perfect fit.
Really, those two enjoy playing together. Excellent chemistry between them because they're both mobile, agile, skilled big guys.
He might not have the long-range ability of some other guys, but he will knock down open ones like that.
Now the pass to Scott. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. And Mike Scott, a former second-round draft pick who has carved out a role here in the NBA the last 2 seasons. Clark, he was a major contributor off the bench.
He's a bit of a tweener, you know, not big enough to maintain position down low on a consistent basis and not quick enough to really be a three-man or small forward, but what he can do is get to the basket.
His three-point percentage and attempts have increased each year he's been in the league. With a high, quick release, he's capable of making tough shots with a hand in his face in a way other players simply can't.
Splitter passes to Teague. With 1 on the clock, no good on the buzzer beater. And so that brings the first half to a close. The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull. Look here. Splitter is checked in for Horford. Mike Scott comes in for Paul Millsap. Kent Bazemore is checked in for Cephalosha. And it's Teague in for Kyle Korver. On the floor for Detroit, Freak. He's in at point guard. Marcus Morris is out there with Johnson. Then it's Jody Meeks. And it's Baines in at the 5 spot. And the foul called on Freak.
Substitution on the court.
There's 42 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And for Atlanta, Teague and Korver are the guards. Kent Bazemore is out there with Paul Millsap. And it's Splitter in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Baines dishes to Freak. And he's good on the 3-ball.
For 3.
26 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Splitter. That's good. And so Teague with the assist. And the Hawks lead by 14.
The fans are just loving what's going on here tonight. A really good win for the home team.
It sure is. I mean, they kept this crowd in the game, gave them plenty to cheer about, and really used that home court advantage to their advantage.
And so it's the Hawks taking care of business in this one. A confident win and one where they clearly
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, much appreciated, and now let's present our Jordan. Paul Millsap. The fourth quarter was all him. It was like he couldn't miss, and it was just one basket after another. And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.
Coming home. New York City, baby. I'll be honest. Pretty excited. Mama, Pops, Cece, yeah, they're gonna be there. Playing in front of them in the NBA uniform for the first time is gonna be a special moment for me. I know all of Harlem's gonna be watching. No pressure, right? It's all good though. I've been waiting for this my entire life. And I'll be ready.
Coverage of the NBA here on 2K Sports. A happy Sunday evening to you and yours. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Last outing for Brooklyn, they won that game against the Cavaliers in Cleveland. Henry Sims is checked in for Lopez. Robinson comes in for Thaddeus Young. Hollis Jefferson's checked in for Bogdanovich. And Donald Sloan subbed in for Jarrett Jack. And a different look here for the Pistons. Marcus Morris is checked in for Tolliver. Johnson comes in for Tobias Harris. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And Freak subbed in for Jackson. On the floor for Detroit, Freak, he's in at point guard. Andre Drummond is out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Jody Meeks. And it's Johnson in at the 3. A minute 42 left to play in the first quarter.
You know, the Nets really kind of drifted along for the first part of last season, treaded water, but after the All-Star break, they stepped on the gas, put themselves right back in the playoff picture.
Sloan passes to Sims, converts on the jumper for the easy 2. Sims has got his first basket.
Superb assist there. He played the role of the maestro on that one.
And here's Freak. 11 points for him in that last game against Oklahoma City. And Drummond kicks to Johnson. Back to Drummond. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Fires a 3. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot. The Nets with the lead. There's 53 seconds left in the first. Pass to Kilpatrick. Nets passing it around. Over to the left wing. There's the screen. From the top of the key. The putback. A follow-up chance.
Well, I love that aggression. Forget about the tip. Just grab the thing and slam it home.
Well, what a way to get second chance points.
And don't take any risk while you're doing it.
It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Passes it to Hollis Jefferson. Sims dishes to Sloan. Out left to the wing. Puts it up from 12. The shot will not go. Great D that time from Freak. A step back shot here. No good on that last second attempt there. The offense coming free and easy as we wrap up the first quarter. It's the Nets up 4. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Andre Drummond's checked in for Aaron Baines. Johnson comes in for Harris. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And Freak subbed in for Reggie Jackson. On the court for the Pistons, Freak in at point guard. Marcus Morris is out there with Johnson. Then there's Andre Drummond, and it's Meeks in at the shooting guard position.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
Oh, perfect timing there to knock down the teardrop.
There's Freak. Unloads from 9. Another shot. And it's Drummond missing.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Here's Robinson. And it's good. Through contact, it's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
That's his first personal foul.
Yeah, outstanding job there of taking the harm and still able to finish.
Yeah, he imposed his will on the defense that time. He was not going to be denied right there.
And Thomas Robinson has been on a lot of teams here in his short time in the league. Not easy to find a spot when you're always getting moved.
And for Robinson, the trade's way on him as well. Clarkie said last season that he just wants to prove that he belongs here.
Well, you know, he's yet to find the right fit for a team, but the skill set is clearly there. I mean, he's an NBA player. There's no doubt about that. Looked great for Philadelphia near the end of the year as he got minutes with them.
Bogdanovich passes to Sims. There's a screen by Robinson. And Sloan kicks to Robinson. Here's a Sims. And it comes off the front of the rim.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room.
And that one's good. 8 points for Freak.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
1:11 left in the first half of basketball. Here's Sloan. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game.
And sometimes we all just want to show people that we have the range.
Yeah, you speaking from experience? We already know how good his range is. He shouldn't be firing from that deep.
It's good, and the Brooklyn leaders cut down to just 2 points with the bucket from Freak.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
There's a screen by Robinson. Teardrop shot, and it's sent back by Drummond. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And a wide open look for Freak. Another three for Detroit.
Shooter than this guy.
Here's Sloan. Kicks to Sims. He got it up. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And a pretty tightly contested game.
Kevin, we have Brook Lopez with us. What is foremost in your mind going up against these guys tonight?
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. It's been a clinic from Brook Lopez.
Yeah, the rebounding, particularly on the offensive side, as good as it gets. He was bringing the effort.
Will make substitutions. So it's Detroit now. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
Probably their poorest defensive effort all season long. I mean, at home, that kind of D is not going to cut it. Never mind when you're on the road.
Hey, I don't know, guys. This may be all speculation. Perhaps they had a bad flight into town the night before, and we all know a rough flight in can lead to turbulence on the court.
Henry Sims out there with Robinson. Then it's Donald Sloan. And it's Hollis Jefferson in at the 2. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Here's Sims. Detroit with the rebound. This game against Brooklyn here, it's their first look at the Nets.
Yeah, and a 4-game season series between these two. Both will be looking to set the tone tonight.
Yeah, and as they renew acquaintances, if you're the underdog, you always want to show, hey, we've got something new up our sleeve. It should be fun.
Nets trail by 9. Pass to Bogdanovich. There's a screen by Robinson. Here's Hollis Jefferson. He's guarded by Johnson. Here's Hollis Jefferson. 6 on the shot clock. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Bogdanovich from outside off the mark. Detroit leading by 9. Meeks dishes to Freak. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. And the foul called on Freak. That's his first foul of the game. And the bonus will go to the free throw line.
At the line for your Nets.
And he makes the first. Drummond's checked in for Aaron Baines. Sloan hits them both. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's Freak. He feeds it to Harris. And it's Sloan with the rebound. And here we go. Brooklyn fast break. And he gets it to go. Bogdanovich has got 6 points. Freak with it on the wing. Johnson. Here's Freak. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. And as we end the third quarter, a great game. Both teams playing well. We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the fourth quarter.
No doubt, see my stats are fat. This is what it's about.
A different look here for Detroit. Morris comes in for Harris. And Freak subbed in for Reggie Jackson. Pistons leading by 15. On the floor for Detroit, the big men, Tolliver and Drummond. Freak is out there with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And it's Morris in at the 3 spot.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
Young outside. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. They get the rebound. Makes it off the glass.
Thomas Robinson.
9 points for Robinson.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
Freak battles through traffic and lays it in. And the Pistons lead by 17.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low. And I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation. But I'll tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there. Part of the reason that they're down is that they haven't been as strong in the paint here. I mean, when you have the opportunity to get the ball inside and score close to the rim, that's what you've got to take advantage of.
Caldwell-Pope passes to Freak. They get it again. And Drummond kicks to Freak. Knocks down the 3 ball. Freak's got 7 points for the quarter.
And really, with every point from this point on, it seems like they're just closer to finishing this one off.
If they haven't already done it. I mean, hey, it's been a tremendous all-around performance from this group. I don't think there's any question about that.
And guys, you look at the history of the Defensive Player of the Year award, and it usually goes to big men. Big men get the blocks and clog up the paint, but before last season, the last 10 Defensive Player of the Year awards went to bigs.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Henry Sims is checked in for Lopez. Thomas Robinson comes in for Thaddeus Young. And Bogdanovich is subbed in for Hollis Jefferson. Tolliver kicks to Meeks. And there's the pass to Baines. Sims with the rebound. Last year we saw Kawhi Leonard win the Defensive Player of the Year award. Draymond Green was runner-up, and although he was a power forward, I thought Clark, he was defending on the perimeter quite a bit.
Yeah, he was, and you know, it's only the 8th time out of 33 Defensive Player of the Year awards that's not been given to a big guy. So, well earned by Kawhi Leonard, and Draymond Green very easily could have won the award too.
Now, Freak. Out to the right wing. Tolliver dishes to Meeks. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Detroit needs to get off a shot. 3-pointer. And again, the 3-point shot is good for Freak.
And they've just done a great job of keeping this crowd out of the game. And we're getting closer to victory. The crowd's getting quieter.
And there's not a whole lot for them to be cheering about anymore. I mean, their guys got it handed to them.
From deep. Off target with that shot. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hey, Hey, y'all. Ernie Johnson here, along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Reggie Jackson. He put up a new season high tonight, and if he keeps shooting like he did tonight before the season's over, he might top it. A big key to his team's victory here.
This play tonight, Ernie, was finally a bright spot for them because, you know, they had a very rough stretch of games.
And that brings us to the end of our broadcast for this evening. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports Group, this is Ernie Johnson saying good night, and we'll see you again soon. But
tell you about Vic. He has his bad rap. It's not, and I understand some of his judgments might shadow his actual character. He's not that at all. Man, Vic, let me tell you something. We actually, we have love for each other. We're brothers. Blood couldn't make us